He sent me some of this a couple weeks ago. I've been using it every workout.
You like it?
I love it.
Sweet.
Sex on the beach. Somebody else. I'm sorry about that. I fucked that up. Cutting out the middleman. I saw powder just fly out of your nose.
What's going on? What is up, Team Furious? I am joined with oh man, daughter went down. I am joined with my good friend, Mr. Mark Bell, Mark's Belly Bell. I'm really excited.
Oh my
I'm really
God,
excited.
it's so powerful.
Today is going to be a really fun day. Mark is notorious for helping a lot of people with their bench. I mean, a lot. How many people have you helped with the bench over the years?
At least 7. I've helped a lot of people to 600-pound benches, and even Eric Spoto to bench press over 722-pound bench press years ago, which is an all-time world record.
Literally thousands of people that he's actually influenced to, you know, get their bench press up in person or on video.
Helped myself to a 578 raw bench, 854-pound multi-ply bench, and an 832-pound single-ply bench. But who cares about all that, right?
Today, basically, I have never really been instructed to do bench press. I've done bench, I've benched in the 400s. I don't know where I'm at now. And so today, Mark's gonna show us little ways of manipulating your bench to kind of instantly get stronger.
Sometimes for some of you that may be watching this, you'll go and try and be like, oh, fuck Mark Bell. Like, because it might be harder for you because the technique that you're using, you're so used to it. I have to go through some training. It'll take you a few months of locking in that form over and over again with manageable weights.
Enough talking, we're standing here. Let's get some action flowing. We're gonna get the bench set up and get a workout in, and let's get you guys stronger. We're starting off with a little bit of a CrossFit workout. Now, what are we doing to start?
We're gonna do 4 sets of 25 reps. So we end up with 100 extra reps, but in this case, we're gonna end up with 400 extra reps because we're doing 4 different exercises. And all that assistance stuff that you hate doing, that you always skip because you're sad because you missed your lift, and watch Biggest Loser and just go through the whole thing and cry. Wanna go get out of here?
Let's get out of here.
A bunch of different purposes that it serves. Number 1 is conditioning. The better shape that you're in, the more frequency you can add to your training. So when you first do this, it will take away from your training session a little bit, but so what, it's just training. This is gonna help improve your GPP, general physical preparedness. The third thing that it's gonna do is it's gonna give you a really awesome pump before you start your chest workout, before you start your bench workout. A little bit of pump, a little bit of blood flow in the upper body, right before you start your training session is just what you need. So let's get to it.
Let's go.
Lat pull down, 25 reps. We're gonna do dumbbell bench press for 25 reps, dumbbell tricep extensions for 25 reps, and then some hammer curls for 25.
Those hammer curls are just to show off.
Oh yeah. Give you a little training tip here on the lat pull down. So go wider with your legs.
Oh, my leg.
A little wider with his legs. We're not going to use that pad that much. Now some of you lighter guys might be a little more difficult, might have to reduce the amount of weight you're using. But now it's just all lats, and go ahead and give it a little bit of a squeeze at the bottom. That way you won't have to lean back quite as much. You're going to reduce the weight quite a bit, but you're actually putting the emphasis on the lats. People are probably going to ask what kind of weights you're going to use on this. Just start out very, very light. First time you do it, just test it out. Scale of 10. 10 being the worst and kind of heaviest, it's probably only like a 3. 25 reps is a long count.
Growing trees in your arm?
What is this? That's gross. That's disgusting.
Sacramento has the 80 freeway. It's got
Yeah.
2 different 80 freeways. It has this 80 freeway here.
Which one goes to Napa?
This one.
That one.
Yeah, it takes you out this way. Right away, without doing anything else, I'm gonna be able to go into this really hard. So even though it did take us some time, we're actually saving time because all in all, that took 10, 12 minutes, right? Spend 10 or 12 minutes trying to mobilize, trying to do all this shit, hang off a rack with bands and do all this crazy stuff, foam roll.
Yeah.
We don't need to do any of that. I feel fucking ready to go right now, so here we go. I like for people to go wherever their preference is, and I like to see them lift, and I like to break it down from there. Pete is about 6'2", and oddly enough, a lot of times taller athletes like to actually go in closer. You'd think it'd be the reverse, think a taller guy would want to go wider. Grip that you have is also gonna play out with your ability to arch.
Right.
So you'll notice a lot of women, they'll go real wide.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because a lot of the ladies can arch really well. And that actually makes the distance or the point that you're gonna touch the weight on a lot different if you're weight like this versus if you're just kind of more neutral.
Right.
For him, being a taller, longer arm athlete, he kind of has to bench in close. If he's way out here like this, now his shoulder is exposed. His shoulders and his pecs have to kind of do all the work from here. So go ahead and go down with the bench press. All this right here is gonna rotate a lot because his arm length is really long. Now hang with me here for a second. The shoulder is going to rotate even further as he goes past the midline of his body with his elbow. Everybody on page 43, still following along? The easiest thing for Pete to do is what he naturally did was go in a little closer and now bring the elbows in. Look, we got the forearm making contact with the bicep. And when we go around, see, I'm going to turn this way a little bit. Look what we have here. We have the tricep resting on the lat. And we got the lat pump, we got a little bit of tricep pump, a little bit of bicep pump, a little bit of pec pump to blow everything up. Before we even started this workout today, he created some favorable leverages for himself by bringing his grip in closer. Another thing here with Pete is he's built up pretty good. This is a weird thing. From his ears to his shoulders, it allows his arms to hang down a little bit lower, pick up heavy ass weight. For me,
So I'm meant to deadlift.
I'm a little bit, yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
That's what I love to do.
Hey, he's got a cheap advantage going on. Cheap advantage going on. There's gonna be two main ways to immediately increase your bench press. Number one is gonna be your form/technique, and number two is gonna be the way that you warm up. The way that warm up should really work is you should work your way backwards. Let's just take a 300-pound bencher. You would work your way backwards. If 300 pounds is the goal for the day, you would take off about 15 pounds twice. So you'd go 285, then from 285 you'd go to about 270. Probably want some tweeners in there, so you'd probably take 225, 245, 255 or so. From there, you're gonna work right back up to where we said. So you're gonna do more reps in the beginning because the weights are really light to get that body temperature up and to get blood flow.
Right.
So for really light weights, we can do 8 reps, 10 reps. But the second that we start to get any sort of real weight on there, we want to reduce the reps to 3 and all the way down to 1.
Right.
It's all 1 rep. We're trying to be as lazy as possible with it.
Right.
So we'll take you through that right now.
Cool. Look, it's a sad face. Sad face right there.
So the first thing that he did was he found his grip. The next thing that you're going to work on is finding where your feet are going to go. The third thing that you're going to do is lining up your back and your shoulders the right way. So he's doing a little bit of a row. Now he's going to tuck those shoulder blades in his back pocket. No matter what we're doing, whether we're bench pressing, whether we're squatting, or whether we're deadlifting, your knee being like inward a little bit, your foot being pointed outward is never really a strong position. So if my foot is out here and my knee is like this, that looks kind of weak, right? So I want to go push my heel out a little bit like that and drive my foot out. This is always going to be a stronger position. And even on the bench press, this is going to make a big difference. Go ahead and bring your feet underneath you just a little bit more. Okay, now let's try to go out wider.
Whoa.
We don't want to have any limitations, especially from our hips while we're trying to bench press. So you can go to like mobilitywod.com. My buddy Kelly Sturet's got some great information on kind of how to open up the hip flexor. A couch stretch, you can YouTube that as well. If he's closed off like this while he's bench pressing, he's not able to get his chest up. And if your chest isn't up, then that means that your shoulders are out of place. You're gonna be benching like this. So your hips have to work properly, so we can go like this, and we can start to go in here more, drive our body a little bit forward, pull the chest more upright, and get the shoulders locked in a little bit more. There you go. Good, drive the knees out like that. Bring your heel out a little bit. Out. Yep, like this. Boop. There we go. And then knee out. I know it hurts. There we go. Good. So it's going to be challenging the first time you try something like this. But you're going to be able to, you're going to be able to get more leg drive. This is fucking powerlifting. Powerlifting is supposed to be uncomfortable. And so you shove those knees out and you're trying to push yourself onto your traps. And that's putting you in a more favorable position because it's kind of putting you in a decline bench press position. It's also going to help take stress off your shoulders when your legs, your lower body, when everything else is lined up better, and your shoulders will be lined up better. That's how you bench press. This is a couch stretch. This can help open you up for the bench press. You have a couch, then you can do it on the arm of your couch. That's where I do the stretch quite a bit. If he flexes his butt cheek on the knee that's down, then that will enhance the stretch even more. Breathe. Stretching should never really be like that tense.
Yeah.
Like you can't stretch a tense muscle. Try to get like a little Zen mode and just be like, oh. Here we go, monkeys up. 2, 3, up. Release. Nice, Pete, good. Ugh. In-between lift, he went with 390 pounds. You saw the first lift that he did was 375 pounds. We've been making these strategic jumps because you want to try to prime your central nervous system. It's my belief, based off of how he did 375 today, that if we would have went for 405 right away, that there could have been some potential for him to miss it. Now, if we take the gamble and we roll the dice and he potentially does miss this one as well, if he misses 405, then at least we got in some extra work. He did 375, then he did 390. The 390 moved better, in my opinion, and a little faster than 375. This is priming his central nervous system for the last set, which is gonna be 405 pounds.
The last time I did it was before the start of chemo.
Yeah.
So if I can get it today,
I
feel pretty good.
That excuse, chemo.
Yeah, I know. Excuse. It makes your beard thick.
I thought that was from chopping down trees.
It is. That's what we Canadians do as a hobby.
This is gonna be the part that's gonna like bend the most. So I'm gonna go way up here, and I'm gonna come through a couple times. I'm gonna go down, and when I finish, I'm pulling a little tighter. I'm gonna go here, and then come right back to that same spot that I started at. You wanna try to create a cast, so your wrist really can't move. In Olympic lifting, you would want your wrist to be able to move a little bit. You'd want your wrist wrap to be much looser, so you actually do have some play, because your wrist has to come back and catch the weights.
We've lowered the weight. 405 was my best weight I've done since doing chemo, and literally, like, that flew up. That went up pretty fast. Like, we could probably, I could probably put on maybe another 20 pounds. I felt really confident at the end. The first time I did 375 with the belt on, I didn't feel comfortable. New feeling, like, because you're like expecting to breathe. I'm expecting to like just feel normal. Yeah, a little tighter. The second time when I went to 390, everything felt better. And then doing the 405 felt better. And I'm sure if I kept going, I wouldn't be able to really keep going, but it'd feel good.
Whenever you're like in a real debate with yourself, hey, do I put on a quarter or a plate? Always go with the smaller, always go with the in-between weight. Always go 10-5 or 5 or 2.5. So here we're gonna do some assistance stuff. He has a slingshot on. We already handled some pretty good weight for the day, and we want to take some stress off the shoulders and just focus in on the triceps. Kind of a bodybuilding style bench press where he's never going to pause at the bottom, he's never going to pause at the top. So what Pete's going to do is the second that he gets that weight moving, he's just going to keep it moving in a good rhythm, and he's trying to really blow up his triceps and his pecs. This is also going to help increase muscle size. A bigger muscle has potential to be a stronger muscle. Get some reps in there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, let's go for 12, 11, nice.
All right, Mark, very quickly, let's go over like the fundamental things that we changed in my bench to really increase it today. Leg position,
yep.
Grip position, form,
yep. which we worked on him getting his upper back tighter. We worked on his hips. We even worked on the mobility of his hips a little bit, getting him to stretch his hips a
Definitely
little
felt
bit.
that like helped way more after.
You get on your left side for 2 minutes, your right side for 2 minutes. Technique. And the other major change that we can make in one given day is just simply priming your body for the workout the best that we possibly can. Through the warm-up, getting in 400 reps of work before we got to the bench press, and look what happened. He actually was stronger than ever. The other way that we were able to achieve that was through the proper warm-up once we were actually on the bench press. We took strategic jumps towards our main lift. Whenever it's in your head, you have any doubt at all, should I add a 45, should I go for 405? The answer is no.
Yeah.
Keep that 25 on there, add a 5 and a 2.5, or add a 10, or do something different than adding too much more weight.
You want to lift that weight to gain 100%, you are sure. I think the biggest thing that I remember, I was doing deadlifts at Brian's gym, Brian Shaw, and got 635 off, no problem. Then he told me that I can do 655, like no problem, just do it. But I had doubts in my head, and as a result, I didn't get that weight. But if you have confidence, you know, obviously you're going to be, if you're, like Mark said, if you have any sort of doubt about, you know, how much you're going to go up a weight that you are 100% confident that you can do.
He did that, tried that 655 at Brian's gym and missed it. He probably went from 585 to 635 right into the next one.
I did.
Now, if he had a little bit more strategy behind it and tried 585, went 615, 625, he could have lifted a little bit more than just 635 for that day. It's about priming your central nervous system.
Well guys, I know this was a long video, but there's a lot of really, really solid information. Huge thanks to Mark Bell for dropping by the unit today. Whoa, look at that, getting leaner and leaner.
Pretty furry.
It's all about that
What do you
fur.
think, fur?
I like the fur.
Fur's good, fur. Anyways, if you haven't checked out Mark's channel, amazing content on there, very, very educational. You get stronger. That was the goal of the channel, getting stronger, getting better.
Yeah.
Go check out his channel, subscribe to it, show him some love. Thank you for tuning in. Give this video a thumbs up. Comment below what kind of videos you guys want to see next in the whole fitness world. Catch you guys later. GetGoForGains.com, FierceApparel.com. You guys stay sexy, stay hungry, get legs.